Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a new Untubing. I wonder what this could be. I've not opened this yet, so I don't know what it looks like. But here we go. Wow. The saddle racing mat. How about that? So, we have a mat for saddle racing. And I've also made a change to my score sheet because it takes an awful lot of paper up. So, I've made it a bit more paper friendly. And what I'm doing is every so often I'll pick a meeting that's currently going to be raced. Today's one was, well, I actually did it a couple of days ago. It's Pontefract in West Yorkshire in the UK. It's a 6-race meeting. And as you can see, I've got a race here with 12 horses and a race with 13 horses. So I'm waiting for some more horses to come. The way I'm going to do that is that I'm going to take the extra ones and put them starting at number 5, so that they lose the backer space and they also have to move in as well. So it sort of evens it out instead of being out here. As you can see, I've got no jockeys. I've got the form here, which is the races that I've had. This is my second meeting, and I'm also not doing the jockeys because I'm not keeping jockey stats. So what I've done is I've created myself a little table, and I take a D20 and a D and 2D6, and it's 15-4. So 15-4 jockeys rating is 0, just so that we've got a jockey rating. I don't care who the jockey is. So I can run the first race because there's only 8 runners, and so we might as well do it because we'll have a bit of fun. It is a 10 furlong race, which is here. So let's get the horses and put them at the starting line. So the blue horse is Dr. Dalton. The red horse, Coupe de Fizil, who came 6th last time out. The green is Uptown Swell, who won his first race. The yellow is Teleprompter. Black, Bold Arrangement. White, Groovy. The pink is Bedside Promise, who came 4th. And the white and the grey is Parade Marshal. Now, you will notice, you won't on that sheet because there aren't any, but you see here that Rampage and Garthorne have got 0s. That's because they didn't come in the first 6. And traditionally, you only keep the first 6 positions and everybody else is a 0. So there you go. So let's start this first race at Pontefract. It's a 10 furlongs, 1 lap of the track, and Dr. Dalton he is a column 3, and we're going to do 25, which is a 27. 27 on a column 3 is an 8.8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Coupe de Fuzil 46 is a 9 on a 2. And a 9 on a 2 is an 8.6. So he'll move up on the shoulder of Dr. Dalton. Uptown Swell won his first race. 63 is an 11 on a 2. An 11 on a 2 is an 8.4. So again, he'll move up. And I've got a new procedure for the last turn. I'll explain it to you when we get there. Teleprompter in the yellow 15 is an 8, and he is on a 4. So an 8 on a 4 is going to be 8.5. So they're all bunched together at the start of this race. Bold arrangement in the black silks. 52 is 6 on a 3, which is an 8.8. They're all much of a muchness at the moment. The White Horse Groovy 16 is a 19 on a 2, which is a 7.6. So he's going to move 7. And then from lane 6, 7.5. So he'll stay there with 0.1. Bedside Promise, who is in the pink, 31 is a 14 on a 2. That's also an 8.1. So he's going to stay in lane 7, and finally in lane 8, Parade Marshal, 53 is an 11 on a 3, 8.3. So he's going to move 7. Coming in from lane 8, 7.1, 7.25, 7.4, 7.7. So he's going to move in and leave himself 0.6. So let's look at this. So it's Dr. Dalton, Coupe de Seville, Coupe de Seville, Uptown Swell, Teleprompter, then the pink Bedside, the black Bold Arrangement, then Bedside Promise, then Parade Marshal and Groovy. As we come to the second, I'm going to roll that again because my other dice has dropped off. Look this mat. 62. 62 is a 29 on a 3. He's not having good results. 8.5, which makes him 9.3. So I'll take the 9 and leave the 0.3. Coupe de Seville, get this right. 43 is a 7 on a 2, which is an 8.7, gives him 9.3. So he'll stay in contact with Dr. Dalton. Uptown Swell. 25 is a 7 on a 2, which is an 8.7, which gives him 9.1, and he's going to take all of it again and just stay in contention with the 2 leaders. Teleprompter in the yellow. 25 is an 8 on a 4, which is 8.4, which is 8.9. So he's going to move in using 0.2, so that's 8.2, leaving him 0.7 to carry forward. Bold arrangement in the black. 26 is a 9 on a 3, which is an 8.4, which gives him 9.2. So 8, and then from 5 to 4, is a 0.2, 8.2. So he can then move forward to 9.2 and be up with the leaders. So he's got nothing to carry over. And finally, Bedside Promise on this lineup, 54 is a 3 on a 2, which is a 9.1, gives him 9.2. 2, 4, 6, 8. Coming in from lane 7, 8.15, 8.3, 8.5. Puts him there, leaves him 0.7. Parade Marshall, in the grey. 54 is a 12 on a 3, which is an 8.1, 8.7 left. So he's going to move in to use 8.2, leaves him 0.5 left. And finally, Groovy in the white, 21 is a 9 on a 2, is an 8.5, gives him 8.6. 8. Moving in from 5 to 4 is 8.2, leaves him 1.4. He's going to carry a lot over. So we have Dr. Dalton after 2 furlongs, Coupe de Seville, Uptown Swell, Bold Arrangement, moving up, Teleprompter, alongside with Bedside Promise, Parade Marshal and Groovy. As we go into the third furlong, 33 is a 24 for the blue. Dr. Dalton on a 3 is an 8.9, which gives him 9.2. So we'll take the 9. Coupe de Fazil, 13 is an 11 on a 2. 8.2 is an 8.5, so he's going to drop back slightly. Uptown Swell, trying to keep his unbeaten record. 23 is a 13 on a 2, which is exactly an 8. So it leaves him 8.1. Next up will be Bold Arrangement. He's got to come in. 41 is a 10 on a 3, which gives him 8.2, 8.9. 1, 2, 3. 3.2, 4.2, 5.2, 6.2, 7.2. It's going to keep that. Gives him 1.7 to take with him. Teleprompter, 45 is a 6. On a 4, so 6 on a 4 is 8.5, which gives him 9.2. .5 to there, which will leave him 0.7. Bedside Promise, 4 to 1 is a 27 on a 2, which is an 8.7, gives him 9.4 to spend. 4 going in from lane 4, 4.2, 4.45, 5, 6, 7, 8.45 to there, gives him 0.95 left. Parade Marshal in the grey, 64 is a 12 on a 3, which is exactly 8, gives him 8.5. Allows him to carry 0.5 over. And finally, in the white, Groovy. 31 is a 9 on a 2. 8.4, 9.8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.2, 6.2, 7.2, 7.45, 8.45. Leaves him 1.35. So at the end of the third furlong, we have Dr. Dalton from Coupe de Fazil, then Uptown Swell, Teleprompter moving up into fourth, the pink Bedside Promise, and then the black Bold Arrangement with the back two, Groovy and Parade Marshal. Let's have a bit more as we go into the fourth furlong of 10. 53. 53 is a 17 on a 3. 7.3 gives him 7.5 for Dr. Dalton. Leaves him 0.5. It's a good thing about being inside. You don't have to waste your points. Coupe de Fazil, 32 is an 18 on a 2. It's a 7.3, which is a 7.8. So staying there. Just behind him. And Uptown Swell, 51 is a 5. That's a good score. 5 on a 2. Is an 8.7, is 8.8. So he's going to stay with the leaders. Coming up next in the yellow silks is Teleprompter. 45 is a 6 on a 4. 8.4 gives him 9.1. So I'll take 8 and keep 1.1 back. Boulder Bedside Promise next in the pink. 44, that's a good one, is 3 on a 2. Is an 8.9, which is a 9.85. So it's going to take 7, keeps 2.85 in the tank, so he's still looking fresh. Bold Arrangement in the black, 45, is a 4 on a 3. 8.7, 9.1. So he'll use 7, keep 2.1 back. Groovy in the white silks, 33. That's a good score for him. 2 on a 2. He's a 9 exact, so 10.35. 7.25, 8.25 moving up. Leaves him 2.1. And finally, Parade Marshal in the grey. 64 is a 12 on a 3. Is a 7.9, which gives him 8.4. So he'll take 7 and keep 1.4. So as we round in the curb onto the back straight, we have Dr. Dalton, followed by Teleprompter, Coupe de Fazil, Uptown Swell, the white colours of Groovy, Bedside Promise in the pink, Bold Arrangement, and Parade Marshal. Dr. Dalton, 15 is a 27 on a 3. 8.4 is 8.9. as he's on the back straight. Teleprompter. 13 is a 14 on a 4. 7.5, which is 8.6. Just slotting in just behind the leader, Dr. Dalton. Coupe de Fazil, 62 is a 6 on a 2. 8.5, 9.3. So he moves up right on the shoulder of the leader, Dr. Dalton. The grey Uptown Swell, 66 is a 1. A 1 on a 2. That's a 9. So 9.8 for Dr. Dalton. So he's moving up again. 3-horse race at the front at the moment. The white horse, Groovy, who's moved up from the back. 51 is a 4 on a 2. That's 8.7. So that's 10.8. 8.15, 9.15. So he's going to move up 9.15, leaving him 1.35 in the tank. Still got a lot to give. The pink Bedside Promise, 52 is a 7 on a 2, which is an 8.4, which is an 11.25. 8.15, 9.15. He's going to stay there, giving him 2.2, sorry. Black bold arrangement, 25 is a 7 on a 3. 8.3 with the 2.1 is 10.4. 8.15, 9.15, 10.15, moving up, giving him 0.25 left. And finally, Parade Marshal, 15 is a 7 on a 3. 8.3, 9.7. So I'll stay at the back and keep 0.7 in the tank. So we have Dr. Dalton, Coupe de Fazil, Uptown Swell, then the black bold arrangement, Teleprompter, Groovy, Bedside Promise, and Parade Marshal as we begin the second half of the race. And it's Dr. Dalton, 16, which is a 28 on a 3. 8.2, 9.1. So keeping himself out in front. Coupe de Fazil, 12, is a 17 on a 2. 7.3 is a 7.6, so he's going to drop back slightly. Uptown Swell, can he start making a move? 54 is a 12 on a 2. 7.8, which is 8.6. So he'll move up into second. Bold arrangement. 36 is a 9 on a 3. Is 8 exactly for bold arrangement, leaving 8.25. So I'll stay with the contenders at the moment. Teleprompter in the yellow. 51 is a 7 on a 4. 8.1 is an 8.7. So he pulls up and gets his nose ahead of Coupe de Seville. Now in the white groovy, 62 is a 6 on a 2. 88.4, 9.65. So he's going to keep that because move 7 keeps 2.65. A lot in the tank for the finishing straight when they get round the corner. Bedside Promise, 56 is a 10 on a 2. So 8 exactly, so that's 10.2. So he's going to take 8 and keep 2.2 back. Could be some strong finishes coming here. Parade Marshal, 16 is a 9 on a 3. 8 exactly, so 8.7. So at the end of the 6th furlong, we have Dr. Dalton, Uptown Swell, Bold Arrangement, Teleprompter, Coupe de Seville, Bedside Promise, Groovy, and Parade Marshal. Still all in with a chance. Dr. Dalton, 47. 43 is a 16 on a 3. 6.8 is a 6.9, and Dr. Dalton beginning to tire as this race goes on. Uptown Swell, 52 is a 6 on a 2. 8.3 is an 8.9. So he takes the lead. Bold Arrangement, he's got to come in. 46 is a 16 on a 3. Is a 6.8. So that's a 7.05. 1, 2, 3, 4.15, 5, 6, 7.15. It's got to go back one. So he's got 0.95 left. .9 left actually. Teleprompter, 54 is a 5 on a 4. 8.2 for teleprompter, 8.9. So he's going to stay behind and take 7 and keep 1.9 left in the tank. That's Coupe de Seville. 23 is an 11. On a 2. 7.5 gives him 8.3. And he will push through into 3rd place. Bedside Promise, 23 is a 13 on a 2. 7.2, 9.4. 7.25 is going to take, which will leave him 2.15 over. Groovy in the white, 16 is a 19 on a 2. 6.8, 6.6, 6.6, that's 9.25. It's just going to take 7, so it's going to take 2.25 with him. It's got a strong finish coming up as we come on to the last bend. And finally, Parade Marshal 26 is a 9 on a 3. 7.8, 8.5. So it's going to take 1.15 with him. 1.5 with him, and we're coming into the 8th furlong. And we have a new leader, Uptown Swell, Dr. Dalton, Coupe de Fazil, Teleprompter, Bedside Promise, Bold Arrangement, Groovy, and Parade Marshal. 3 furlongs to go. And Uptown Swell with a 33, a 2 on a 2. Is an 8.5, 9.4 in total. He's going to take all of those. Dr. Dalton, who's was beginning to flag here. 64 is a 25 on a 3. Is a 7.8, which is an 8.7. Coupe de Facile, 24 is a 10 on a 2. 7.6 is a 7.9. Now Teleprompter in the yellow. 36 is a 12 on a 4, which is exactly 7, gives him 8.9. So he moves right up behind Dr. Dalton, who's beginning to struggle. Bedside Promise in the pink. 22 is a 2 on a 2. 8.5. That gives him 10.65. So he moves up into second place with a strong push there. Coming into the final turn. Bold Arrangement. 55 is a 4 on a 3. Is an 8.2. Which gives him 9.15. He'll take 7 to keep 2.15 in his locker. Groovy in the white, 33. He's a 2 on a 2, which is an 8.5 for Groovy. That's a 10.75. He's coming with a late run as well. And then finally at the back, Parade Marshal. 54 is a 12 on a 3, which is a 7.1, 8.6. So he's going to take a 7 and stay with a 1.6. So we're at the 8th furlong completed, and we've got Uptown Swell, the unbeaten horse from the pink of Bedside Promise. Dr. Dalton beginning to flag. Groovy coming with a run. Teleprompter. Coupe de Fazil. Bold Arrangement and Parade Marshal as we come into the 9th furlong of the race. Uptown Swell 31 is a 10 on a 2. It's going to get him 7.5, which is 7.9 in total. So I take 0.9 with him. Bedside Promise 54 is a 3 on a 2. 8.2, 8.8. So he moves up right alongside Uptown Swell. Dr. Dalton 23 is a 15 on a 3. 6.8, 7.5. I think he's all about finished his race. He's not going to make any ground on the leaders, I don't think. Groovy 24 is a 10 on a 2. 7.5, 8.25. So he moves up into third place. The yellow teleprompter 66 is a 1. That's what he wanted. Teleprompter a 1 on a 4. 8.2, 9.1. So he's just going to take 7 and keep 2.1 in his tank for his last furlong. Coupe de Fazil 65 is a 13 on a 2. Going to get a 7. So that's 7.9 for Coupe de Fazil. And the black bold arrangement 21 is a 10 on a 3. 7.3, 9.45. 7.15, 8.95, 9.15. Leaves him 0.3. And finally, Parade Marshal 16 is a 9 on a 3. 7.5, 9.1. So come right up at the back and keep 1.1 for the last. So we have Bedside Promise, Uptown Swell, Groovy, Dr. Dalton, Bold Arrangement, Teleprompter, Coupe de Fazil, and Parade Marshal. Right, so the last one. Now, what it says in the rules is that you have to use as much of your time as your tenths as you possibly have to. But someone on my last video said that's not the case, and Atba didn't mean that. And what it is that you cannot finish directly behind another horse, so you must move. So you'll see how it works. You get more tenths and therefore a better chance of getting placed higher. So here we go. Bedside Promise in the pink. 56 is a 10 on a 2. On the final furlong of the race is going to be 7.4, and he's going to go 8.2. So he's going to take all 8. So that's where he's going to finish. Uptown Swell. So he's got 0.2 left. 56 is a 17. Uptown Swell, that's not good. 17 on a 2 is a 6.5, which is a 7.2. So he's not going to keep his unbeaten record. Groovy in the white, 65 is a 13 on a 2. 13 on a 2 on the 10th furlong is going to be 6.9, 7.15. Dr. Dalton on the inside rail trying to get some assistance there. 45 is a 27 on a 3. And a measly 4.7 for Dr. Dalton, 5.2. So he's going to finish way back as he tired out at the end of the 10th furlong. Bold arrangement, 21 is a 10 on a 3. 7.2 for bold arrangement, 7.4. So leaves him 0.4 left. Teleprompter, what can he do? 46 is a 14 on a 4. 6.6. 8.7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.215, 6.15, 7.15, 8.15. He can't finish there because he's directly behind. 8.3. So he's going to leave him 0.4. So he will be in contention with bold arrangement and with bold arrangement. They've both got the same, so it's going to be a dead heat there. Coupe de Fazil 43 is a 7. Coupe de Fazil a 7 on a 2. 7.7, 8.6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.1, 5, 7.3, 8.3. Leaves him 0.4. There's going to be 3 on a dead heat. And finally, Marshall Parade Marshall, in fact, 36 is a 9 on a 3. 7.4, 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.25. So 0.25 left. So there we have it. The race is over. Let's have a look at the finishing positions. So we have the winner in the pink silks is Bedside Promise. Uptown Swell comes in second. Groovy comes in third. And then we have Teleprompter with 0.4. Bold Arrangement with 0.4. Coupe de Fazil with 0.4. So they've come equal fourth. All 3 tied on a dead heat. 7th is going to be Marshall Parade, and finishing right at the back, tired out right at the end, is Dr. Dalton. So there you have the race. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like the mat. I really like that. That's I've got some horses on order, and I think they might be a little bit too big, so I've got to find something that I can use well. I have 15 colours because I need 12 for my next race. My next race is the Napoleon Casino Bradford Handicap, and you never know, I might go for that. It's only 6 furlongs, so it's not a long race coming from here. So hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, yada yada yada. Let me know how you think, and hopefully we will see you again. Thanks and goodbye.